Hello, PTG Proxy Table Gaming fans. We're here for another special video. Very special video, this one, because we're joined by a special guest. I am, of course, here with my usual partner in crime, Lucky Sixes. Say hello.
What's happening?
Okay, and my other special partner in crime for today, who I'm going to introduce in just a second, is the reason for this video. It's all very exciting. So, Piteglio, hello to you.
Yeah, good day. Hello there. Hi, PTGs.
How are you doing?
Hello.
All is great. All is great. I'm delighted to be with you.
Wonderful. Great. We're really pleased to have you again on the channel. So, basically, this is a video where we're going to be talking about The Breach, which is a new construction of Piteglio and some of his colleagues, I think. Not that I've really mentioned those to you before. We could call it a one-man project. Who knows? You tell us. Anyway, before I ramble on about nothing, let's go over to you, Piteglio. You've got 60 seconds on the clock. If you run over, it's absolutely fine. There are no consequences. Tell us about The Breach, what it is, and what we're going to be doing here today.
Excellent, excellent. So yeah, this is. I thought that we needed a way to share the love that we have for our hobby with as many people as possible. So that's what The Breach is. It's a breach through the veil that separates us amazing people who are in the hobby of wargaming from the rest of the world, and also the sad people who don't know yet how amazing it is to push toy soldiers onto an actual battlefield or a virtual battlefield. So the idea was to go in the direction of the Kickstarter, so make everything simpler, more accessible, also cheaper, and this is also important, needing fewer miniatures and painting time so that people can get started and then evolve in the hobby, also because we have also plans for catering to the needs of the veteran players, as you can see from the stretch goals in the campaign. So yeah, that's the project.
Lovely.
For the
excellent
for the veterans.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean that's a great opening description. Really, it tells us, you know, the game of the Ninth Age is somewhat complicated for those who might be going into it for the first time, and so you've decided to bring it down to its very bare core features and introduce people to it on a very more basic basis so that they can start to enjoy it from the very basic level. Would that be about right?
Yeah, it's baby foods actually. It's baby food wargaming, I would say.
And something that can be done very quickly and with not a lot of material, not a lot of equipment.
Games just take some 15 or 20 minutes, but what is interesting is that they open for some role-playing components, so they're great for kids, for getting them involved into the game, and you know, develop this storytelling and appropriate the hobby, let's say. At the same time, with all of the infrastructure that we're giving ourselves for this simplified version of the game, like for example the video game expansion and so on, all of these can also be used for the regular 4,500 point wargaming. So it's a project that's both in opening the Ninth Age to the wider world, but also giving the Ninth Age players something that they can actually enjoy, like books, cards, and video games.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was one thing I really liked about it. You mentioned about the storyline and how sort of like how it develops the characters within the Breach game. I really like that part of it.
Yeah, that's thank you for that, because I thought of it as a way of increasing the complexity of the rules, and so introduce new players to more and more nuances of how you can play the game. But the narrative component is what makes sense when you're playing with a new player. It shouldn't be a succession of things that you can learn, but it should be a succession of things that you are excited about doing because they make sense in this one.
And it gives sort of like a bit of a meaning to the game as well. At that really basic level, I really like that part.
Yeah, because otherwise, you know, you have this feeling when you do pen and paper games that you just go to the tavern and you grab the next adventure, and everything feels a bit mechanical. You know, it's like you have to go and on this task and so on and so forth. So, sometimes in tabletop wargaming, you could have that impression. It's just pushing my soldiers against your soldiers, and then it's the end of it. And
and this is a a sort of like you're already part of something similar in the Ninth Age of the quick starter. So this is like a quick starter of the quick starter.
Yeah, it's distilled. So I think that with the quick starter, we managed to go down to some 20 pages from the, let's say, 200 of the rule book, and now we moved from 20 pages of the quick starter to the 1 page of rules that you can have in the breach. I don't think that anything below that could be done. So.
No.
Okay. So how long has this been in production? I mean, I'm just going to go through a few pictures of it that you sent over to me. I mean, this is obviously a picture of the beginnings of it, as you got some artwork together and some rules going on. How long has this been in production?
So I've been in production in my head. It's been, I think, for a couple of years that I've been pondering about all of this. But the idea with the Kickstarter is exactly that at the end of the campaign, if things go well, if the funding campaign goes well, I can take maybe 3 more weeks and finalize all of the production details and then ship it to the manufacturers. Because the idea is that I didn't want to go to physical production before the campaign is over, because the Ninth Age community is just amazing, and every single day I get fantastic feedback on how to improve things. And so it's not that I want to give the community the chance to express them, it's that I really look forward to their feedback. And so production will start after the end of the campaign if the funding goal is met. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, we picked this up with you a few months ago. We didn't quite expect it to come to fruition quite so quickly, which is an awesome testament to how much work you and your guys have put into it. And so, you know, we should, if it hasn't been emphasized enough already, there is a Kickstarter project currently ongoing. So we would urge everyone to give their support to it. Myself and Lucky Sixes have definitely pledged our allegiance to you, as you know. Already. So come on, everybody, let's get this idea
and
into
you're
reality.
doing really well at the minute, aren't you? We're already like over halfway.
Yeah.
So we're just sort of jumping on the bandwagon, really, at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's a number of other demographics that will probably be interested in the project as well. So I look forward to this last 10 days of the campaign.
I mean, look
they
at
might
that.
be fun.
That looks
they might be
so
fun.
good.
Yeah, I mean, these pictures are amazing, and obviously check out the videos. And we're going to put links in the comments so that people can view all the material that's already online, and a link to the Kickstarter so that people can pledge towards you, because obviously that's what it's all about at this stage. And actually, just very briefly, because I know it's not the main part of it. This screen we've got on at the minute is a video game supplement to it. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. So we have developed a mod, so an extension for an already existing video game, which is called Tabletop Simulator. And in this extension, we can recreate all of the characters, the rules, the scenarios, and the terrain pieces that we have drawn or inserted physically in the starter box. And this is a version, actually, you can see here the video game being played on a beamer against the wall of my living room. So
nice.
I also have a big
flat screen available.
Right, isn't it? It's like 2 meters. Actually, so that sofa is 2 meters, so that means that you can have an actual tournament size battlefield projected on screen.
Right, add that to the to-do list.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. Okay, so I mean, we're not going to go through like the game itself so much, but one of the main features of it is that everything is condensed into cards where you can look very quickly to find out what you need. And obviously on the left-hand side is a good little orc picture, which I like very much. And he's called Kamoko, is that right? Kamoko?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
So he's one of your preset default characters to play the game with.
The cards are a really good aspect of it, I think, because it feeds it up for the opponents as well. So if you want to, there's no like asking about it each and having to read it off. You can just literally read it themselves.
Yeah.
For future, I think that would be one of the key aspects of this, because that it's made in the Ninth Age and to tournaments and playing games and things. That's one of the things that's made my experience much better. And I think the card aspect of it. Yes, it's got the models, and the models look really cool. We'll get onto that in a sec. But the cards, I think, are a really good part of it. and a really important part as well.
Thanks. I think that really helps the making the game easier. I can of course try and improve on the graphic designs of the card and on the type of art, but I want them to be visible. I want them to be readable, because that changes a lot when you have to learn, remember, and decide. Especially as a new player, that's a lot of stuff to do. So if you can just focus on one of these things, like learning or remembering or deciding what your move is going to be, then
And these are the actual models that come with it, aren't they, as well?
So again, I wanted to give people the possibility of choosing. Backers should have the possibility of choosing which variant of the models they want. So this is one of the variants of the models that I could put in production. But if you prefer an elf with a shield and a spear in his hands, and then the bow strapped on the back, that's doable too. That's one of the good things about having a community that's interested in participating.
So obviously we've missed the what you're talking about here, 3rd of April, the live event, obviously, because we're a bit further in April now. But like you say, that's really cool that it's a board game that is customizable at this stage.
So the customization goes even further, because there's a possibility of taking your actual miniatures that you sculpted, that you painted, and then photoscan them and put them into the video game. So this is what you see here to the top left with the orc smoking a pipe. So this has been sculpted by a forum member in Sweden, an amazing guy that has my total gratitude. So he has sculpted this with with wire and with green stuff, and put it all together, and then shipped it to another forum member in Italy who painted it, which then shipped the painted miniature to another person somewhere else that photo scanned it, which then shipped it back to Germany, and then we put it back into the video game. So this miniature has been touring the Europe.
International.
That's incredible. So there's some another shot of the terrain which is involved, which is looking amazing, and this is all part of the board game, isn't it? I've just got these screens, just a little bit about the Kickstarter and how it works and how you can pledge certain amounts and what it gets you. I'm not planning on going through all what every pledge gets you, because that's all on the Kickstarter page itself, and we don't really have time for that. But a brief mention to the stretch goals, because obviously you're trying to reach a certain amount in order to make the project happen, but you've also got stretch goals, so that if the support really drums up, there's extras that can be included, which would be amazing, obviously, because they all sound cool. Do you want to mention about the stretch goals very briefly? I'll just flick through them.
Nice. So very briefly, I can tell you that there's two different types. So there's the type like this one here, where you get more material into the box. For example, more free terrain pieces that you can find in the box itself. And then you can have other components, like for example extra cards or extra scenarios, and at some point, of course, we will also have extra miniatures. For now, we give the choice between the different sculpts, but as the game expands, we will also add extra miniatures. And then on top of that, we also have stretch goals, which are related to the expansion of the hobby itself. So not necessarily just for the starter box itself, but for the wider community. So for example, unit cards with rules for all of the armies of the 9th age.
Yeah, that's so cool. That'd be wicked.
That would be I mean, it's a lot of work, because it's a lot of actions, and there's a lot of units, and there's a lot of expansions and options and items and so on, but it might work. And the same thing for the translated books, which I mean might be less appealing to you guys, since you are in the center of the island. So you are at the core of English, of the English speaking words. But for the community,
and we still struggle with that.
Speak for yourself, like you're sexist.
So I still think that the community needs it, and I can still hope that the English speaking part of the community will still push for that stretch goal to be met, because it means a larger community and it means more people that can get into the game. And that's what we want, basically.
Absolutely, that's what it is all about. So these are just a couple of models, pictures of models that you've had included, and they're all very lovely, of course. And then
it's nice that you call that one lovely, the one with the blood.
Well, he looked relatively
lovely.
calm and peaceful, so and this is you explaining it to a group of people. Obviously you do your best to get it out there as much as you can, and it's all looking very serious there. You've obviously been asked a serious question.
Yeah, these were the master tacticians, which were, breaking the rules apart and trying to understand if they could uphold close scrutiny.
Good.
Apparently they did. So that's good.
Excellent.
How was it showing it off to the public?
It was an amazing experience. It's so I was at this convention in Italy at the beginning of April, and so I was trying to promote the product, and the best feeling that I got out of it is that everybody loved the game. And of course, it's not easy to be at a convention with a Kickstarter because everybody else has physical products that they can sell. Yeah. And so, for example, children, some children are a bit off-put by the fact that they have to wait for a Kickstarter to happen. They want to come back with a box. But everybody who played loved the game, and especially the kids. The kids were just inventing stories. Some parents were looking at the kids and they said, we don't always see them play with each other so nicely, brother and sister, for example.
Sure,
they don't collaborate into creating a story together.
Because they're shooting each other with bows and arrows. They love that.
Yeah, exactly. So the aggressivity gets down to the field, not between the people. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously this sculpting is amazing as well. I mean, Lucky Six has said about the models, it does look absolutely fantastic. So, bravo for that. I know that, I don't know about you, Lucky Sixes, but I'm even though it is the version of the game that's been most advertised, I'm definitely thinking Orcs and Goblins versus Elves for us, don't you think?
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, definitely.
It's prototypical.
Some characters in there, yeah.
Yeah, too right. Cool. And there's your... Yeah, lovely. Well, I mean, we're drawing to a close on this now. I mentioned earlier a collaboration, a few people working on this. Is there a group of you, or is it the one-man show?
Yeah, so I would say that I'm the spider that's keeping all of the limbs together. But sure. I just wouldn't go anywhere without some people, both from the forum and outside the forum, who are doing a great job. So there's people helping me with legal aspects and with the art aspects and with the outreach aspect outside of the forum, but on the forum there are fantastic sculptors and painters and artists, and in general people who keep the word out and do communication, like for example the two guys I'm having a chat with in this very moment. So it's a community effort. I have the impression that I'm always doing spending all of the moments in my evenings and afternoons to work on this, but at the same time without the larger team of people officially on Veil of the Ages and just supporting Veil of the Ages, I really wouldn't go anywhere. Yeah.
Well, I think
brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for spending some time with us today to tell us about it. I know that myself and Lucky Six had planned to talk about it anyway, but I think it gains a lot more validity with yourself talking us through, so thank you very much for that.
Thanks a lot to you for having me.
What's next for you? Are you going to any more live events or anything like that?
So the next thing is going to be WTC, the War Team Championship in Hatfield, which is going to happen next week. So I'm going to shake hands with the pro players and see what they think about the unit cards, because sometimes you have to look into tiny details like the size of the card so that the battlefield isn't too cluttered, for example, that kind of stuff. So I want to get an understanding of that.
And then a lot of people. There's looking like the biggest Night Age event ever so far.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a huge event. We have this hockey stadium rented out, and of course there's going to be a beamer, so we're going to project big games on a regular mental shield.
Oh, very jealous. I'm not going.
That's so sad. That's so sad. We have to organize something in the UK.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Cool. And it was mentioned very briefly earlier, but we have managed, you have managed to get your Kickstarter is now 50% funded. So let's hope that this video can get people even more behind the project and we can push it towards that 100% and hopefully even further towards the stretch goals. Lovely. Come on, people. Let's get this happening. This looks amazing. It's a lot of work gone into it, and let's push it onto reality.
But generally, on it, there is, I feel, something for everyone. Like when you purchase it, so like you said, you can get with the Kickstarter, you can get 2 or 3 boxes, so you can give it to friends and family as well. But even if you're just getting the one for yourself, I think there is a lot from it you can get, and no matter what sort of level you are. So I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Great.
And I think that is an excellent way to end this video. So thank you all for your time in watching. Get over to the Kickstarter. The links will be in the comments, etc. And thank you, Piteglio, for being with us. We'll speak to you again very soon, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
See you later.